My brother Jake and I were arguing about who should get our mother's wedding ring after she died. I'm her only son, Jake said. It should go to me. You're not her son, I snapped without thinking. She told me before she died. You're my son. The room went silent. Jake stared at me. What? I'd kept the secret for 6 months, through Mom's hospice care, through her funeral, through the estate settlement, but now it was out. You're my son, not my brother. Mom made me give you up when I was 15. She raised you as her own. My name is Patricia Collins. I'm 63 years old. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I've spent my entire life trying to forget that I gave birth at age 15. It was 1976. I was a sophomore in high school. My boyfriend was 17. We were young and stupid and in love the way teenagers are. I got pregnant in the fall. Didn't realize it until December. By then, I was 4 months along. I told my mother, Eleanor. She was furious. You're having an abortion, she said immediately. I'm 4 months pregnant. It's too late. Then adoption. We'll find a nice family. I want to keep it. You're 15. You're not keeping a baby. We fought for weeks. Mom was adamant. I was not keeping this baby. The father, my boyfriend, disappeared the moment he found out. His family moved to another state. I never saw him again. Mom came up with a plan. I'll tell everyone I'm pregnant, she said. You'll go away for the spring semester, homeschooling. When you deliver, I'll raise the baby as mine. No one will ever know. Mom, that's insane. It's practical. You're 15, I'm 37. I can raise a child. You can finish school, go to college, have a normal life. This is the best option. I don't want to give up my baby. You don't have a choice. So that's what we did. Mom wore padding, told everyone she was pregnant with a late-in-life surprise baby. I stayed home from school for 5 months, helping my mother with her difficult pregnancy. That was the official story. I gave birth on June 3rd, 1977, a healthy baby boy. I held him for 10 minutes. Then Mom took him. His name is Jacob, Mom said. Jake, he's my son now. You're his sister. Do you understand? I understood. I hated it, but I understood. Jake grew up thinking he was my brother. I was 15 years older than him, a huge age gap. By the time he was in elementary school, I was in college. By the time he was in high school, I was married with my own children. Did I love him? Yes, but it was complicated. He was my son, my first child. But I couldn't tell him that. Mom was a good mother to Jake, better than she'd been to me, honestly. She was patient with him, involved in his life. She gave him everything I couldn't have given him at 15. Sometimes I convinced myself Mom had been right, that giving Jake to her was the best decision. He had a stable childhood, a good education, a loving home. But other times I'd see him at family gatherings and my heart would break. That was my son, my firstborn, and he called me sis. Jake and I were close despite the age gap. Or maybe because of it. I was more like a mother to him than a sister sometimes. Drove him to school events when Mom was working, helped him with college applications, gave him advice about girls. You're the best big sister, he told me once when he was 18. I don't know what I'd do without you. I almost told him then, almost said, I'm not your sister, I'm your mother. But I didn't. I'd promised Mom I'd never tell, that the secret would die with her, except it didn't. Mom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in March 2023. Stage 4. The doctors gave her 6 months. She lived 4. In July 2023, in hospice care, heavily medicated, Mom called me to her bedside. Patricia, I need to tell you something. What, Mom? Jake, I need you to tell him the truth after I'm gone. What truth? That you're his mother, that I made you give him up. He deserves to know. Mom, you made me promise. I was wrong. I thought I was protecting everyone, but I was just creating a lie. Tell him, please, don't let him spend his life not knowing where he came from. He'll hate me. Maybe, or maybe he'll understand. Either way, he deserves the truth. Mom died 2 weeks later, August 5th, 2023. At her funeral, Jake gave a beautiful eulogy, talked about what a wonderful mother she'd been, how she'd raised him alone after his father, who he thought was Mom's husband, died before he was born. All lies. Lies I'd helped perpetuate for 32 years. After the funeral, I couldn't bring myself to tell him, couldn't destroy his memories of Mom, couldn't blow up his entire understanding of his identity. So I kept the secret for 6 more months, until we fought about the wedding ring, and I blurted it out without thinking. Jake didn't believe me at first. That's insane. You're my sister. Mom was my mother. I was 15 when I got pregnant. Mom made me give you up, raised you as her own. You're lying. You're upset about Mom's death, and you're saying crazy things. I'm not lying. I can prove it. We can take a DNA test. Fine. We'll take a DNA test. And when it proves you're my sister and not my mother, you're going to apologize. We took 23andMe tests, sent them in, waited. The results came back in October 2023. Patricia Collins, mother, parent-child relationship, 99.9% confidence. Jake stared at the results on his phone for 20 minutes. Then he looked at me. You're my mother. Yes. My whole life is a lie. No, your life is real. You just didn't know the full story. Who's my father? A boy I dated in high school. His name was Michael Chen. He disappeared when I told him I was pregnant. I don't know where he is now. So I'm the product of a teenage pregnancy that your mother covered up by pretending to be pregnant herself? Yes. And you let me grow up thinking I was your brother for 32 years. I'm sorry, I was 15. Mom said it was the only option. I didn't know what else to do. Jake left. Didn't speak to me for 3 months. Jake came back in January 2024. 6 months after Mom's death, 5 months after learning the truth. I've been in therapy, he said, trying to process all of this. I understand. My therapist says I need to decide if I want a relationship with you, as my mother, or if I want to cut you out of my life entirely. What do you want? I don't know yet. I'm angry. I feel betrayed. But I also understand that you were 15, that you didn't have a choice, that Grandma, Mom, whoever she was, made the decision. She was both. She was your grandmother who raised you, and she was the woman who took my baby. I have a lot of questions about my father, about the pregnancy, about why you never told me before. I'll answer anything you want to know. So we talked. For hours. I told him everything. About Michael Chen. About being 15 and terrified. About watching him grow up, knowing he was mine, but unable to claim him. Do you regret giving me to Mom? He asked. Every day. But I also think Mom gave you a better childhood than I could have. So I don't know. It's complicated. Yeah, it is. We're rebuilding our relationship now, slowly. He doesn't call me Mom, probably never will. I'm still Patricia, or Pat. Maybe that's okay. But now he knows the truth. And truth, even when it's painful, is better than lies. Mom thought she was protecting everyone. Protecting me from teen motherhood. Protecting Jake from the stigma of being born to a 15-year-old. But secrets like this don't protect anyone. They just create confusion, pain, lies that last decades. Jake is 32 now, married, expecting his first child, my first grandchild. He's asked me to be at the birth, not as his sister, as his mother. I don't know if I've earned that role after 32 years of pretending otherwise, but I'll be there anyway. Because that's what mothers do, even when they spent 3 decades hiding it. Have you discovered that a sibling is actually your parent or child? Have family secrets been revealed through DNA testing? Share your story in the comments. Subscribe for more true stories about DNA discoveries, family secrets, and the complicated truth about identity. New stories every week. Thanks for listening.